that thing. Good. Good. Spit on that thing. Good. Spit on that thing. Gotta get in there.
Robin, AI is scary. I don't know how I feel. Like I feel like I oscillate between liking AI and disliking AI, like as an entirety. What up, Law? How you feeling? Don't worry, I'll be safe. The store next by opens early as fuck, like 3 to 4, and the boss often comes in like 2. She can get out early, so I'm never completely alone for super long. Good, good. I need to blind myself for your streams at this point. Like I'm often like, do I like AI? Because I actually find it very useful in some regards, but other regards, I'm like, the first thing I see. Yeah, AI is scary. I don't even know if I'd say it's scary. It's just a lot sometimes. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's just a lot. And Noir, it was cool as hell. LA Noir is a good game. That's a good game. We need more game like good detective games like that. The two games I've been watching a lot. I was watching Nixie play LA Noir, and I've been watching Hovia play Heavy Rain. And I forgot how good Heavy Rain was. It makes me want to play it. So I remember like I didn't play it myself, but I was watching my dad play it. What is it getting updated? Motivated to retwist today? Yeah. W retwist. I had to wash my hair yesterday because after mowing the grass, I had grass and like those sticky plants that get like stuck in your socks and stuff. They were everywhere, everywhere. Honest, I find more reasons to dislike it at the moment. It's bad for the environment. It's cutting into our creative ethics and spreading misinformation. Yeah, I think that the problem for me though, Neff, is I'm like, at what point do I blame? I mean, the artistic part I completely understand. That part aside, and the environment part aside, I think that's more of a me hating the user. You know what I'm saying? That's me hating the user. But like, if used properly, as a tool should, I do find it very useful. You know what I'm saying? AI isn't currently sentient, so other than force feeding others data such as artists, it's not really that scary. Yeah, right now I'm like, man. But I do find it like as a tool, it's pretty good. Like I have it's like helped me set up things for me that have worked for me, like brainstorming spaces, things like that. Yeah, it's scary for me because I see people use spaces for bad things, and unfortunately, shit humans are everywhere. So I don't trust them with the tool. See, the thing with that is like people were kind of doing that before with like After Effects and Photoshop. It's now just in more prevalent. You know what I'm saying? Even if regular, it's still so shitty for the environment, especially with growing use and dependence. Very true. Very true. As a tool, it doesn't belong in any random person's hands. Yeah, I think like it's more so for um it's more so like easier to hate the user than the tool itself. Oh, I saw this game. Ice Guys. See the appeals of productivity tool for real. Like it has helped me set up systems for me that have made me more productive as a creator, as a human being, and things like that. But I think the problem is too many people over rely on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it it feels like for a lot of people it's helping to further take away critical thinking, which is already at a low. Like we're already at like an anti-intellectualism high. Sorry for my soapbox, by the way. Sorry for my soapbox. But I feel like that is furthering that. It's just making the dumbasses more dumb. You know what I'm saying? Personally, it's going to dumb down average intelligence because we're no longer required to learn. Yep. Yep. Yeah. AI can help as an assistant. Yeah, that's basically how I use it. If I feel like too many people don't like to learn things on their own, which is really the problem. Like curiosity should really like I feel like it I don't know. Too many people just don't like learning things. They just want it done for them. I use ChatGPT as an organization tool, but that's about it. Yeah, like as a tool, I think it's very good. But like, I think I saw a video where someone's like, I'm going to get my master's, and I've never written my own paper now. You know what I'm saying? And that shit's weird. That was very helpful, and I agree with the over reliance. One thing I'll add is there's a difference in intelligence and wisdom. You don't need to be smart to be wise. True, but I do think that you do need at least some smarts. You know what I mean? I do think you need a little bit. Like, I feel like ChatGPT is kind of taking away from core basic skills that you need in life via research, media literacy, things like that. You know, I think people just over rely on it. I think like the fear that your math teachers had in school with you using the TI-84 is manifesting itself in ChatGPT times 100. Because remember, they'd be like, you're not going to be able to use them calculators when you get in the real world. Don't rely on them. And now, you know, several links. Oh, no, you're good, Nixie. You're good. I'm saving them to my wish list. Critical thinking is the main problem proven by lack of emotional intelligence. I hate seeing that when I manage people. Yeah, I think it's not just emotional. I mean, emotional intelligence is good too, but I think like just like I just feel like I keep using it. The term anti-intellectualism is on a rise, and people don't want to think for themselves. A lot of people want to be told how to think. You know what I'm saying? Like there are people, and I've seen people have to be like, "Yo, ChatGPT is not your therapist." You feel me? But people are just relying on this tool because it's convenient. Was there a case of a lawyer using ChatGPT and backfiring on him? Yeah, ChatGPT made up cases. Wish me and Fright luck. By the way, we're going for gold 2 today. I believe. I believe. For real, you don't need to be smart to be wise, but there's definitely minimum required intelligence to grasp the concept of wisdom and having wisdom. Exactly. Slowly looking like a Wally spinoff. Yeah. Like, I think it was very helpful in like helping me navigate the fitness space because like if you go looking for fitness advice, right? It there's so many different opinions. So what I needed was just like a structure, and it helps me with the structure, if that makes sense. Like that's what things like I use it for. You know, admit a lot of people use their emotions in every situation. Look at either side of the political climate. They don't do research and eat up anything. They hear that they hear that supports their narrative. Yeah, because like I think it ties in with what I'm saying too, in that people don't want to think for themselves, right? I think what happens is times are tough, undeniably so. Times right now are tough for almost everybody. And because of that, I don't think people want another thing to think about. You see what I'm saying? And so because they don't want to think, they want to be told how to think. So things like politicians, like ChatGPT, or anything that can get even like a little rise of an emotion out of them will sway someone further down the anti-intellectualism path. If that makes sense. I'm really on my soapbox right now. I'd be really thinking, you know what I'm saying? People don't know how to communicate or problem solve in general. They're allergic to taking responsibility and doing things the correct way if it's hard for them. Yeah. And I understand wanting to make things easy for yourself. I do. 100% I understand it. But like at some point, you can't just keep relying on a tool that in a lot of cases is there to appease you too. You know what I'm saying? Actually, is approaching dangerously close for real. It's much easier to attach yourself to some idea than sort out the information yourself. Yeah, like you're like, this sounds true. It sounds like it's true. Why would I want to look up if someone actually said that? You know, the byproducts of boomers holding on to power too long. They want everything easy. Sounds weak to me. It is, 100%. Just lazy. I couldn't live with myself without knowing the information myself. Yeah, I think that's because like you have like a curiosity, right? I feel like a lot of the curiosity is kind of dying down for a good amount of people. You know, specific entertainment is pacifying and to some degree a social brainwashing. That is true. That is true. I just put on my thighs, eat your Oreos, and watch my K dramas. I believe you can. The council has said yes, Nixie. It has. Yeah. That's why I don't know. Like I don't really like people using like ChatGPT for academics and stuff like that. Y'all talking about AI? Yeah. Full length media's attention span training us deaf. Yeah, it is. And as someone who had already had a short attention span, it gets a little tough. There's some days where I have to be like, I can't really watch too many shorts. You know what I'm saying? Start a K drama together. I agree. I agree. Yeah, Chris, we were talking about the over reliance on AI. The over reliance on it. Because a lot of people do. A lot of people do. You know, short form content is so bad, especially if that's what you exclusively consume. You know, like I'll see people watch like a 90 minute, I'm not a 90 minute, a 90-second video and complain about how long it was. It is a pandemic that social media is exploiting. 100%, 100%. I find myself more now than ever having to do what my mom used to tell me as a kid, where she used to hold my face like this and be like, "Focus. What does that mean? Look me in the eyes. What does it mean?" And I had to be like, "Follow on course until successful." You know what I'm saying? It's like one of my get back on task things. More people have it than people think, and most of us are undiagnosed at that. Love informational shorts that won't require me to watch an entire 20-minute video for something. I just need a quick answer, but I often prefer long form videos. I watch a lot of long form. A lot. I often, even if I need a quick answer, I think I prefer the 20-minute video. I do. The only one I don't is like a cooking video. Like if I need the recipe or something, like a video that perfectly explain what happens in the brain when an ADHD person needs to focus. Actually sounds interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I'm taking C++ classes, and I was curious to see if it could do it, and it's crazy that it can. But a part of me doesn't want to use it at all because I actually want to know how to code. But there are times where I legit don't know what to do, and I'm too embarrassed to ask for help. Sadly, at times. So I think there's like a line, right? Like you can ask for help. I mean, you could do whatever you want. Don't take this as like a permission thing. But I think like having it do everything for you doesn't serve you long term, right? I don't think it serves you at all. But trying, plugging in what you've done so far, and it helping diagnose what you did wrong is how you learn. So you're still engaging in the learning process by doing it first. You know what I'm saying? But having it just do the entire thing for you doesn't serve you in the slightest. And ultimately, like, even if like you don't do C++ long term, right? You activating your brain to learn something like that is good for you long term. And we're taking away things like that with things like ChatGPT, and for kids things like Coco Melon and short form content and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Person was trying to read and their voice was echoing in their head and all the other thoughts while they were trying to read. That is me. There's no shame in asking for help. You gotta learn to ask questions is a learning vehicle. But I was with you, Glitch. I wasn't really asking for help in school. I've always been an I'll figure it out person. People used to think I was joking when I said an ADHD person. I just need the voice to stop talking to me, and it'd be so over for y'all halls. Also, buy books. Yes, reading is very good. But yeah, I was with you, Glitch. Like I didn't really ask questions in school. I just told myself I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. Reading, it's important. It's important. It's important. I listen to 1+ hour videos on Game Lore in order to focus now. If I don't, I fear that I end up watching reels and shorts for an hour because I just can't focus. I think it's good. Like, I think balance is the key to everything. You know what I'm saying? Balance is really the it's really the spice of life. Everything in balance. So like watching short form can be good if you need like little bits of you got a little time kill, do it. But I think like people who solely watch specific types of short form content just rot your brains. You know what I'm saying? Still have headphones and got scolded for trying to do my work while listening to YouTube to try to focus and get my stuff done. Yeah, in school they wasn't about the headphone life. You got to run the headphone up your sleeves. Poor kids with AirPods, man. You can't just be like this. It's tough. Like the books to pass down because people skim read. I can for research, but I can't with stories. It sucks. Most people cannot spell for real. There's a lot of dumbasses out there. That's what I was saying. Like, I feel like the over-reliance of AI is actually causing more dumbasses to arise. Never asked for help, but over the years I realized how far that set me back. Make mistakes and learn from it. The best tool at our disposal. Yeah, I think um, because I don't ask for help, my problem-solving brain is pretty pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really. I still cannot get over the I feel like I'm bothering people by asking for help or an ear or anything. You know what I'm saying? That little voice is very prevalent. Wait, are you making fun of me spelling? First, I end up unhealthily scrolling through shorts for hours. So I try to stop that habit, but it's hard. It is tough. But I think being cognitive of it, like, and recognizing it is good. Well, I'm saying this out loud, but it's too peaceful in my house to read. I actually, having grown up with 7 people in my house, Ozzy, I completely understand that. Completely understand that. I used to love reading in high school, but I would have to have music in the background or something on the TV, and also holding a conversation in order to absorb anything. Alex won't have a phone until he's 16. Seeing 5-year-olds with phones and tablets is horrid. My mom let me get a phone at 13, but I had to pay for it, so I had prepaid. Shit was rough, Malice. A prepaid, and it was 25 cents a minute, 10 cents a text message. And you know what I spent all my prepaid money on? Ringtones. So I could never talk on the phone. The point where my engagement in books is so picky, I hate it. I think that's something that can be like trained, right? The we balances the woo. Apply the responsible. That's why I put documentaries on in the background when I play games or anything. I need something to absorb and learn while I do things. Otherwise, my brain is everywhere and noisy. I think that's also what I do with Twitch streams, to be honest. Like, I know Neff's probably gonna be like, don't mention my stream, but like Neff's stream is very good at that. I think like watching someone create and listening to people like create and stuff like that also helps keep the brain, you know what I'm saying? And then Shield of Sparrows. I like it. Shield of Sparrows. I will look that up in a second. They swaggy though. On God, they were at the best ringtones. I'd be like, bet you ain't got this shit though. Bet you ain't got this shit though. You know what I'm saying? And they'd be like, damn, I gotta buy that ringtone when I get my next prepaid